Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to have a go at modelling this Game Boy Advance inside of Fusion. We will then bring it over to Blender to have a go at texture and everything. So once we've textured it, we'll then add some basic lighting and a little scene, look at adding in some surface imperfections to create this final render. So inside of Blender there's three add-ons that we've used. One is Image as Decal, which is how we brought in things like these decals. And then we use Blender Kit, which is how we apply our materials. And then the last thing, which is the paid one, is one-click aid, and that's how you add things like surface imperfections, dust, grime, edge wear, that sort of thing. You can complete the whole project without it. It just is a nice little thing to add at the end of texture and everything. Hopefully you enjoy following along, and if you've got any questions, leave a comment down below or email me at design.simon@outlook.com. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is bring in our reference images. So I'm going to click up here to go to Canvas, insert from computer. In my downloads, I can hit the jackpot a little bit. I got some really good reference images. Let's grab this one first of all. Make it quite a bit bigger. Let's go like 15. Bring it over as close to the center as we can get. Let's come to the side. I've then managed to find some good side view ones as well. Make this quite a bit bigger. That's a fiddly bit. Let's try and make sure we get this sort of in line. That looks about right. Let's bring that down. Let's take this. And then we're going to do another one. Exactly the same size. This time we're gonna flip round. So we've got the top view, how thick it needs to be. Something like that. Bit messy, so for now let's just turn those off. In fact, now we're going to keep that one on. So let's start with the side profile of this bit here. So we're going to hit R for rectangle or create rectangle. Keyboard shortcut R. Draw that sort of shape. And all we're going to do is sort of like block out the overall shape that we're after. Something like that. And hit T to trim off those bits there. Let's hit E to extrude, come to the top and turn on canvas here, and we'll drag it across. Let's do symmetric like that. Now, because they're photographs and they're slightly in perspective rather than being flat on, it's going to be slightly off, which isn't a massive deal, but it's just something to be aware of. Let's just start making this shape a little bit more how it should be. So hit F to fill it. Let's grab these edges here. We'll round this up a little bit more. Something like that. Let's then hit F to fill it and grab these edges as well. Drag those in a little bit. Like that. Okay, so next, what we want to do a little bit of is, if we turn this body off now, it starts to get these little details in for the actual hinge itself. So basically, we won't do any of the buttons yet. We're going to get like the shell done, and then we'll move on to the actual bits. So I'm going to give this a save. Just so I don't lose anything. So let's create a sketch, and then we're going to go L for line and just put it roughly where we want it to be. Let's take this, Control C, Control V, drag over, drag over, drag over like that. Okay. We'll finish sketch. I'll turn off the canvas. So what we're going to do, let's split body. I'm actually going to select that first so that this is a separate body to begin with. It's going to be a lot of like splitting bodies and moving stuff around. Let's split body, and then let's grab each one of these. So those are now separate. Like that. So we're not going to want all of those. I'm going to get up into the reference image on my screen. Okay, so the ones that we do definitely want attached are going to be, let's hide that one for now, and we're going to hide that one. So these are the ones that are going to attach, so let's combine those together. That's all now one body, like that. What we then want to do as well is, if you have a look, we've got these like shoulder buttons. Let's do R to extrude. And I'm going to trim off those bits like that. Let's turn off that canvas, and let's split body like that. So we're also going to want another reference image, aren't we, of the top, which we should have. Maybe 1 second. Okay, so we should have a shot on here. Let's take this round, bring it into position a little bit. Should I get the size? I think that looks about right. So I'm going to turn it off for a second. So where does that end? Okay. Let's bring those back. Create a sketch. No, not even going to create a sketch. Let's split body. Let's split that one. I'm going to split it along there. We'll do the same thing here. Split that one. Split it along that as well. So that bit we don't need. That bit we don't need currently. So let's then combine those back together like that. And then what we're going to do, let's get that sketch back. Then let's split that body. Like that. And then we're gonna get our canvas back. Sketch. Let's give me something long, say like there. We want to mirror that across. So let's hit that sketch. P, project, just so I can find the exact middle. Come up, create, mirror, grab that. Let's grab this. And finish sketch. And then we're going to split body by that and by that. Turn off the sketches. So now we can combine those back together. So now we've got what start to look like shoulder buttons. Let's hit F. Let's take that, modify scale. Are we slightly bigger or slightly smaller? Which way around are we going? Slightly bigger. Let's make it slightly bigger. Move copy. Bring it up like that. I don't think it is supposed to be slightly bigger. Let's go with that. Let's then hide that. F fillet. New copy. Let's bring that over a little bit. There we go. So we've now got those. What we can do, hide that for now. Create a sketch here. Half a rectangle. I'm going to just do a bit that it joins onto. Bring that up, but let's change that to new body. Isolate for a second and hit F to fillet. Bring that in. Then we can see that next there. So I'm going to bring this back. Okay, what we probably don't want to do is let's get rid of that fillet. Okay, we still want to fillet these bits. Like that. There you go. That's more like it. So we've got that. Let's mirror that across. Create mirror bodies. Let's grab those. Let's grab this mirror plane here. Now I've got those in place. Let's don't need that anymore. Bring this back. So now we can start to shape it a bit more again. Let's go to fillet. before we did that fillet. So where did we do that one? Oh, let's delete that fillet first. Let's fillet these first. Drag them in. And then let's fillet this. Looks more like it. Okay. Let's keep in those. Let's hide all of these. Let's then fillet these. Look about right. Then let's do it along here. And then let's see if it will let us. Just make it smaller for that, I think. Okay. Right, I think blocking out wires for that, that's probably okay. Let's bring these back. Let's create a sketch. Right, let's make sure we get this the right sort of scale. So the reality is it's going to be there to there, isn't it? So that's turn all those off for now. E to extrude. Something like that. Let's take that, right click, copy, bring it over. Now we can bring everything back again. As we know that's going to fit now. So what we want to do, I don't know what I was attempting to do then. Right click and copy. And keep those on because that's what we want. Don't want that. Don't want those. Can I delete? I can. Perfect. Grab those fillets and delete. Let's cross pull. Grab that. Bring it up to there. Let's then combine all of those. Now there is a slight gap, isn't there? Because obviously you need to have some clearance. So let's turn that off. And there will be a little bit clearance. So eyeball it. There you go. Probably more like it. Same as before. Let's do some fillets. That starts to look pretty good. What's with these extra faces though? What's going on here? Just click that. Gets rid of it. Okay. Then I feel like we want to. How big was that fillet? 3.3. F. There we go. Just wondering whether that clearance is maybe a bit too much. We'll find out in a second. Let's turn that off. I think in terms of the shape of the actual body of everything, we are pretty much there. And these are just our shoulder buttons. Let's give this a save. I'm just going to see. This might not work. Can I just press pull this and does it do everything? Okay, so I can play with that if I need to. Just to see if the clearance needs to be a bit more, but I think let's leave it as it is for now. And then if we want to change it, we can do it, just because obviously you need to have that clearance so it fold over does what it needs to do. Get rid of that for a second. So then it is just a case of getting these little details got into them, which shouldn't be, it says hopefully. Too bad, we might have to get rid of the fillet to do that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, let's start putting our details into the main bit down here. So let's start with a sketch on here and then on the inside there. Let's do slot and center slot. C for circle. Take that, Control C, Control V to copy and paste and just move that one over so it's exactly the same. There, so that's it. E to extrude, and we'll grab all of those so they end up being the same height. Drag down to cut in. Let's go to the canvas for now. We'll go to modify chamfer. We'll grab each one of those. Drag out a little bit. Like that. Right, let's start with this one. Let's create a sketch here. C. Circle and bring that over. Copy and paste that and snap it to there. I'm going to hit E to extrude again. And drag down. I'm going to hit F to fill it and grab. Oh, that's too much. Type. Point three, something like that. I'm going to hit E to extrude. Grab those and drag up a little bit. I'm going to go new body and then F to fill it again. Let's drag that. Something like that. Okay, so we've got that one. We'll do the power switch. Yes, let's do sketch and E to extrude. We'll take this and drag up. New body. Is it? I think did 0.8, didn't we? 0.6. 0.6. Do the same on this side, so I should make sure I know what size circle that is. That is 6.5. There we go. Do the same on here. Circle, 6.5. E to extrude. I'll click down here to drag it down. F to fillet both of those. E to extrude, and then we can grab both of these, drag up, change that to new body again, and then F to fillet 0.6, like that. Let's do our D-pad. Create a sketch. R for rectangle, find the middle. We want a center rectangle, so let's grab that center rectangle. Come up and create circular pattern. Select like that. Let's trim all our extra bits that we don't want. And then we're going to fill it. Okay, we've got a few extra layers we still need to get rid of. Okay, so now hopefully fill it. Something like that. You want to curve these off a little bit, so let's create arc and 3-point arc in the middle, like that, and trim those off. Let's create a second pattern again. And we can trim off. Which we don't want. Let's fill it instead of going off it on a sketch. Let's grab that. Okay, so we've now got that D-pad, so let's hit E to extrude and drag that down a bit. F to fillet. And then we can grab that again. E to extrude, bring up. Or change that to new body. And then is there a dent in the middle? Let me just get up another. Yeah, so in the middle there is an indent. Go receive circle, grab that and just drag that out a little bit. Need to extrude that down. Modify chamfer. F to fillet. And then let's fill it that as well. That might be a little bit too low down. Let's bring that up. There we go. So that's the pad done. Let's have a go at these speaker holes. I've done those lines there so we can go to create rectangular pattern, grab that feature, distance, do that, and let's put that up to 4. And then we'll do same again, rectangular pattern, grab those. I didn't need to do that hole in the end, did I? Let's do that and then make 4 as well. So now we've got those 4 holes. We can hit E to extrude. Annoyingly, I grabbed the dot rather than the circle itself. Let's create rectangular pattern. Then let's do that again. Grabbing the dot rather the circle rather than the dot. Down. There we go. Now we can extrude each one of those circles. Okay, let's turn our canvas off. And we'll just do a very small fillet in each of these. Perfect. That's most of the detail, in fact, that's all the details on the front. We want to have A and B, but we'll do that in a moment. Let's come over here and do these lights. Control C, Control V to copy and paste that, just so we know it's going to be the same size. E to extrude. Let's do two-sided. And how far up do they need to go? Not that far. Something like that. Okay, let's fillet those. And then let's grab E to extrude, body, F to fillet. And we probably want to grab those down like that. Okay, so we've got those. What else do we need on the sides? We need this power switch. So we're going to have that going across as well. So shall we have a look? So what, let's get these done first before we forget. So this is the case of all I'm going to do is use the line tool, sort of trace this around. Over here. Right, arc, 3-point arc. Trim that off. Slightly. Excuse me. And then let's, don't know if this will work. Right. No, it's not quite going to get the result we want. Let's okay, let's grab our letters, bring them down. And then have to fill it. Okay, so we've got that. You want to select and start as well, so let's create sketch on there. Create text, and it's just like generic. Go. Place that across. Then hit E to extrude. Cut that in a little bit. Leave that for now. Right, let's start doing details in the screen and I'll do everything on the side at the end. This one should be relatively easy, hopefully. Let's offset and bring that in. Alpha line, I'm going to come straight across there, straight across there as well. Let's then fill it. These, bring them in. Hit E to extrude. Drag down. And then gonna hit E to extrude and bring up again. We're gonna do new body. And I'm gonna hide that. Create sketch. Offset and bring it in. L. Line, bring that in. E to extrude. Drag that all the way out. And then what I'm going to do is we need to create two here. So I'm going to create a sketch on the bottom. Then hit E to extrude. I'll just drag that up slightly because this is what's going to be on our screen. So hit new body for that. And then I'm going to create a sketch on here. Hit E to extrude. And drag that down just slightly. Now if I turn that off, there should be a bit of a gap because then we don't want any intersection when we've actually got our screen. Let's just turn those off for a second. I have to fill it. Turn canvas off. Okay, bring that back so that should all line up. What we actually want to do though is that needs to come down slightly, because on this one we need to have a chamfer. Something like that. Okay. And then bring all that back. We've now got our screen. No, I don't think, let's get rid of that. Delete. We'll hide those. Let's do another chamfer. Because I think the chamfer actually should be here, shouldn't it? So let's do that. Oh, it's this chamfer here we don't need, so let's get rid of it. And we can get rid of that move as well. Press pull, bring down so it intersects with the chamfer. Okay, we've still got that gap, which is what we need. Okay, so the screen is done. Let's feel like that original sketch is a bit off. There, yeah, looks more like it. Let's create indents. Along here. I'm just doing this again to make sure we can go right in the middle. Create mirror. Why can't I get that sketch? Like underneath. Oh, okay, my sketch in the wrong place. It's annoying. And let's fillet that. Okay, create mirror features. Grab those. Select. Is that going to work directly in the middle? Yeah. And then what we're going to want is to create a new plane. Construct, plane and angle 90, and then we can create mirror features. And then I can grab that. Okay. Why didn't that work? Okay, we'll draw it manually. Drag down. Fillet 2.3 again. I'm going to grab each of these. Anybody? Grab the fillet. And the same up here. E, grab anybody, fillet 0.3. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the details on the screen. We've got one more bit we're going to do right in the center. Do another circle. Grab that. Drag down. Okay, so I think details on the screen itself are done. We can get rid of that plane now. So now it is pretty much the details on the side and the back. Let's give this a save. Oh, we got loads to do on the back as well, actually, haven't we? Okay, let's... Right, I'll decide which order to do this in, but let's do the split. That goes across. It looks like it goes about there, so let's do that. Split body. Select that. Because that sort of gives the illusion that we're like manufactured part, so it's like a case that can actually come apart. We can hide the bits we don't want, because we don't want to affect those. Create pipe. Hold on control and click, and hopefully is that going all the way around? Do that smaller. Maybe smaller than that. There you go, something like that. So now let's start with these details. We've got one going across the top as well. So let's create a sketch. Rectangle. Fill at these edges. I'm actually going to combine these back together again, or do anything else. Combine. There we go. Then we're going to extrude this. Okay. Then rectangle, so R, drag across. Again, I'm going to do a very small fillet here. E to extrude. Drag it in. Quick sketch. E to extrude. Bring that up. New body. And then we'll do a sketch on that surface. And we'll do a rectangle right in the middle. Do new body, but then I want to make sure I combine those together. And one more rectangle. Again, I want to go into the middle. drag that in. Okay, so we've got our power switch. Let's isolate. Okay, seems good. We want to have some more text on there. Great text. On. Control V. Over. Off. I'm going to do circle. Another circle, bring it over. And that is going to go up slightly. Okay, so we've got that. Going in or out? That's going out. One. So I'll break it. Yeah. 0.01. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give this a quick save so we don't lose anything. Let's come over to the other side. So this is where we've got this volume over here. So let's bring that over. I'm going to create a sketch. With it. E to extrude. Drag in. Again, let's fill it. I think we did quite small, didn't we? Yeah, 9.2. E to extrude. I have to fill it. Create another sketch. Drag up a little bit. And again, new body. sketch, for rectangle, do center rectangle. Need to extrude, bring it up, isolate, F. Then we just need to have some text. Okay, line width's got onto that bit, so let's delete that constraint. And then draw a little volume symbol. To extrude, grab all of these, drag up just a little bit. I did a really small fit, it was like 0.0 something. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so we've got all the details there done. We then do need to have like our game cartridge hole. So that's going to be somewhere around there. So let's create a sketch. Need to extrude. I'm not going to go really far down. I'll go down like that sort of distance. Create sketch. Actually, it's going to come across a bit. Arc, 3-point arc. Let's do a mirror first. Mirror that. There we go. Great. Arc, 3-point arc. E to extrude. Up a little bit. That then we can take further back. So bring that up a bit if we need to. Something like that. Looks a bit more like it. Okay, why is that not operating? Okay, so I don't know why that was not appropriate for that, but it did in the end. Okay. Okay, so let's carry on doing all the details on the back. Bring this round, and then we can take this reference image. Let's come to this one. Edit canvas. Let's move it over here. Rotate it 180. Like that. So obviously it's not exactly the right width, but it's fine. Let's start doing the details here. So let's just create a sketch on this surface. Let's use the line tool to find, well, first of all, let's hit P to project, and then we can find the middle there. That little triangle pops up, lets you know directly in the middle, which is what we want. So now we know that's perfectly in the middle. So we're going to trace out these. Now we're not going to trace it exactly because obviously we've gone over slightly because our reference images are not perfectly flat. They're like perspective slightly, so it's slightly off. Let's start up here. So let's come across. Something like that. Let's then fillet these corners slightly. Enter. Fillet this one as well a little bit, and we'll do the same. Move this out of the way. Here as well. Like that. So then we can go to create mirror, just double click, and then you can select that mirror line. Doing that one. So we've got that profile. Let's do the same here. Now what we might be able to do, let's offset and bring that down a little bit. There we go, because then we know it's going to follow it exactly as clearly. It's parallel along there. And let's trim that off a little bit. Come across, come down, come across like that. And the same again, let's just fillet these slightly. Something like that. And then we'll mirror that across as well. So let's go to create, mirror, double click, and then select mirror line. Now we've got those two profiles. Let's just turn off our canvas. See what's going on. So we've got those two there. So this one's an indent where we're going to have like the label. And then this one's supposed to be like a little, like where the batteries connect. So there's a little screw there. We'll do all the screws and everything in a second. Let's turn it off. Let's hit E to extrude, and we'll grab back at the same time. Let's drag down a little bit. Just want to make sure we don't break through to the other side of that. If we haven't, let's fillet this. Let me quite a small one. Didn't be too much. Let's do that point. That point 4. Do the same. Point 4. So we've got that bit done. This one here. Let's hit E to extrude and click here to bring it back up. But we'll go to new body. So we've got that bit. Let's hit F to fillet. Do a small fillet there, and we'll also do a small fillet by hitting F on this part here. There, so you've got like that separation. Like that. Now on this panel, we've got a couple of screws. So we've got one screw here and we've got an indent there. And then we've got screws there and there and there and there as well. Let's just check 1, 2, oh, and here as well. Let's do this one first. L for line. Oh, let's do P to project. And again, this is just so we can find the middle to make sure it's perfectly centered. There you go. Let's just draw this down. Fillet those. Like that, and then again, create, mirror, double click, or deselect that. Then select it. Let's hit E to extrude. And we'll just drag that down just a little bit. Again, turn the canvas off so we can sort of see a little bit better. Like that. The back's coming together quite nicely. Right, I think. Let's turn these bodies off a second. Yeah, so we're going to do 1, 2, those 4 all at the same time. Do this one, we've got those little indents there. So let's start this one. Maybe a bit bigger, let's try 5. E to extrude. Turn off our canvas so we can see a bit better. Let's do modify and chamfer. And then let's hit E to extrude, bring it up. I'm going to change that to new body. And we're just going to turn this into a screw quickly. So we can click here, right click, isolate. The easiest way to make something look like a screw is create a sketch on it. On the middle, without the circle appears there, just draw a line straight up. Do the same across there. And then we're going to modify and extend. Extend so it goes all the way across. P to project that whole circle, and we're going to hit T to trim those edge bits. Then we'll go to offset, and we'll grab that whole line, and we'll do something smaller, like 0.4. Do the same on the other side, so minus 0.4. Same here, 0.4. Minus 0.4. And then we can hit E to extrude, grab all of those profiles. Drag in. And then we can go modify chamfer, grab each one of those 4 segments, lock that, drag that in a little bit, and then I like to just give a little fillet on the top just to just slightly. So there you go. So we've got what looks like a screw. Let's unisolate that. We'll just copy and paste that when we do the other screw holes in a second. Next, we've got these little indents here. Let's do that. And whereabouts are they? Okay. So create sketch. And we'll just do slot and center slot. Just do something like that. Again, I'm going to P to project and L just to find the middle. Just as a mirror line, so I can go create mirror. Okay, I didn't draw that centered, annoyingly. I should do exactly 90 degrees. There we go. And now if I go create mirror, double click, select. There you go, it's now in the right place. Let's finish sketch. Turn off canvas, hit E to extrude. Grab those profiles. Pull down a little bit. Hit F to fillet. Now we're quite close to that fillet at the back, so it might not let us do it particularly big. That's too big anyway. A bit more like it. We've still got to do our details in the back there where we've got like the sockets and stuff like that. Right. Last thing on the back then is those screw holes. Let's turn off the canvas for this one. Create sketch. Do it on this profile here. Something like here. I did 5 last time. I'm just conscious that's going over the fillet, so it might give us some weird result, but we'll stick with it and see what happens. Do another circle. Let's meet over here. Do 4. Once again, let's mirror those across. Create mirror. Like that, and then we'll hit E to extrude. Drag down. Again, just make sure we're not breaking through to the side. Hit feature. Make sure we grab that bit of the profile. I'll do the same one here as well. There we go. Let's just delete that. Too small. 0.2 looks fine. So we can take that screw from before. Control C, Control V to copy and paste it. Move it over. It's going to be a little bit big. So what we can do is modify scale. And we can do 80%, so change it to 0.8. Now we can take that, I'll see what we copy and paste it, drag that over. Control V to paste again, bring it down to here. Just take that one, Control C, Control V to copy and paste, drag over. Okay, so we've got that. It's all looking okay. Not messed anything up anywhere else, which we haven't. Let's turn our canvas back on. Let's turn all these off for a second. Okay, so we're going to have a screw and then a couple of little indents and grooves there. What is... I've just noticed this, hang on. Isolate, what are you? Isolate. Okay. Right, let's do a screw hole. Create a sketch. Create slot. Center to center slot. To E to extrude. No. Create rectangular pattern. Double click. Let's do symmetric. Get across. One there. And let's up that to 4. Then we don't actually want the middle one. So we take these profiles, and just drag up. Got the wrong thing. Drop again. There you go. So we've got those. Fill them slightly. And then we're going to have a screw hole. So let's go sketch. See for circle, then again we're going to find the middle, and then come down. Need to extrude. Turn off our canvas because it's starting to get in the way a bit. Drag down. Then we can take one of those screws again. Control-C, Control-V, copy, paste, and get over. Drag it down into position. Okay, so I think back-wise we're done. I'm just looking at some reference images on Google, and I think we're pretty much done with the back, or we are done with the back rather. I think we're done on the front, so, and then on the side as well. So it's then just back. So let's go around here. Turn the canvas back on. So yeah, we've got these bits to do now as well. Let's create a sketch. I'm actually going to draw these slightly higher up because I don't want to interact with the fillet because it'll make it quite difficult to do those bits. So let's, again, P, reject so we can back in the middle. Just we got a mirror line. Do R for the rectangle. Come up slightly. Okay, our fillet starts there, so let's just make sure we don't go to that point. Then let's just draw a line straight across here, so make sure everything stays within that point. Okay. I think the best way to go about, let's do line coming across. Then we'll do a circle, find the middle. Like that. Let's then trim off extra bits there, and we'll fill it. Like that, so we've got that profile. And again, let's fillet these a bit. And we'll do the same thing here. So let's find the middle. Come to like there. Let's create mirror. That, and then let's use chamfer. And there. Enter. Fillet like that, and then we'll trim off these bits here. Okay, so we've got that profile needs to be mirrored across. Create mirror, double click. Okay, let's finish sketch. Let's just turn off our canvas. We've got those profiles. Let's hit E to extrude. Let's grab all of them first. Just drag in a little bit. Okay, yeah, the key thing I didn't want to do, I didn't want to cut into the fillet because then it would make doing the last little bits a bit of a pain. Modify chamfer. Well, okay, so we've got that. Let's fillet these slightly. The whole reason why I fillet these is you don't want really sharp edges inside a blender because you get some really weird like shading issues. So it's a good idea to sort of like, even if it's like a really subtle fillet, just to take the sharp edges off, and actually nothing except like a sword or like a blade of any kind is a perfectly straight like sharp edge anyway. Okay, so we've got, there's this one now, basically like a little inset or something. So let's fillet all of these. Like that. Then what we're going to do is hit E to extrude. Grab both these profiles, set that to new body. And then what we'll do, let's go to shell, grab that profile. Like that, and do the same here, so do 0.3, so we'll do 0.3, so now we've got like a little inset. Let's fillet. Those. Like that. So now we've got the bits at the back. I think we're close to being done. Right. There's some stuff on the back of the screen we need to do as well. Let's just turn this off and turn our canvas on so we can see everything. Right. We have got all of this. All of this zoom on in a second as well, actually. Yeah, so along the side of the top, we've just got those to add on, and then the Nintendo indent. So we'll do a sticker for that, but we'll do the actual slot bit. Okay, let's turn that on. We'll do this part. So let's isolate this. So we're just working on this. We'll bring our canvas back. Create a sketch. Do a line, so it's going to be, that's upside down. It's going to be along here. Do a line somewhere along there. Finish sketch. Split body. And again, this is clearly just like manufacturing white lines. Sorry, my jaw just fell off behind the camera. Create and pipe. What size pipe did we do down there? Let's just have a look through our history. There it is. 0.5. Fine. We can do that. Create pipe. Okay, so we've got that. We can then join this back together again. Billet. Hopefully that's already gone all the way around. That looks like it has, because it's all one continuous loop. Yeah. Okay. Canvas back on again. Then it is just these little square bits. Let's sketch off a rectangle. Three by let's make that up. And let's do another one. Look here. 3 by 1. Hit E to extrude. Drag in. Okay, so we've got those. We want to have those on the other side as well. So let's hit sketch. And I can't remember where I did that, so let's just hit P to reject. And grab that profile, because then it'll just put the lines exactly where they should be. E to extrude. And drag those in as well. And just fillet those again, so F to fillet. 0.02. Go up to this one. Okay. That's those details done. Let's isolate. I feel like I said there was, yeah, so there's a couple of dots. There and there. Never going to notice it, but I'm going to do them anyway. Let's sketch. Circle. And again, mirror to make sure we're going directly in the middle. Create. Mirror. E to extrude. I'm going to stick out a little bit. A bit too much. There you go. Fillet. Bring over. Do this fillet here as well. There we go. Now I feel like the last thing was that little indent for the Nintendo logo to go along here. So let's I got a canvas for that? I feel like I do. Yes, there. Okay. Create sketch. Again, alpha line right in the middle. Come down. Create. Let's do slot and do center point slot, and we'll come there. Like that. So E to extrude. That's not in line though, is it? Create slot, center point slot. That's more like it. E to extrude again. Fillet. Okay, I'm going to turn canvas off. I feel like we're finished with the modeling side of things. I'm just going to make sure I've got everything where to reference images, so bear with me a second. So I'm pretty sure that's everything we need on the front. Side. One thing we're missing. Turn that off. I'm going to take this body, which is this one. I'm going to Control C to Control V to copy and paste it. I'm going to hit E to extrude. Grab this profile and drag in. I'm going to set this to intersect. Because then I've got... Oh no, I need to hide it first. So before we do that, sorry. We'll hide the extra one. Then we'll do the extrude. Because they have to bring that back. So what, let's get rid of the extrude. Right, so hit the original, get that sketch back, E to extrude, drag it through, go intersect, turn that sketch off. There we go, so I've got that, so then we can go combine U and U, and set that to cut, but keep. And we can fill it. That. A bit too much, let's. Yeah, we'll fill it as well. But yeah, that's more like it. Do the same on this side as well. Let's turn on this sketch. Create a sketch on this side. And project. Turn what's off. Project that. And finish sketch. So we've now got that there. And again, Control C, Control V to copy and paste. Let's hide the original. E to extrude. Drag through. Change that to intersect. Bring back the original. Combine cut. Like that. And then what size fillets did we do? We did 0.3. I think this one was a 0.2. Okay, so now we've got actually those bits in as well, so nearly forgot those. Okay, now I think we've got everything. Turn off those sketches there. I'm going to give us a quick save. Turn off the bodies for a second, turn on the canvases again. So, got all of these details, got all of that. Okay, we've got all this side details as well. So, modeling side, we're done. So all that's left for us to do now really is to jump over to Blender to have a go at texture and everything. Last thing I'm checking for really is that I've filleted everywhere that I didn't want to have sharp edges. I think I did most as I was going along. Yep. That's anyway. Yeah, we fit it along here. I guess the last thing to check is that, of course, we have got turn that one off a second. I want that one off as well. Yeah, so we've got, that's going to be our screen, and then this is going to be where our actual, like, what's going to be on the screen will be. So, modeling side, we are done. I'll turn everything back on. So, give that a quick save. Then all we've got to do is go to File, Export, change that to FBX. Go to Export, and then we're going to jump over to Blender to have a go at texturing it. Okay, so now we're in Blender. I want to grab everything in the scene to begin with, so I'm going to press A, then I'm going to press X, and click on Delete, and then go to File, Import, FBX, and then I'll find my download, which I think I did on my downloads, which is there. So I'm going to zoom in because it's quite small. So it is to scale, because we made sure our whole thing was scaled. But if you bring in this cube for a second, that cube is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, which is why that comes across quite small. I'm going to delete that cube. I'm going to take this and I'm going to scale it up just a little bit, just make it a little bit bigger, like that. And we'll texture one, and then we'll have a look at like setting a nice little basic sort of scene to it. Let's just bring that up, GZ to bring it up. So to help with that, what I've got is this website here that is quite useful, which is this one here, which is imagecolorpicker.com. So all you need to do is you select your image, and then you can bring it up and you can bring your hex code up. So I've already got a reference image that I'm using. So if I get that in, and then I can select the color that I want. So in order to add the materials, I'm going to use the Blender kit, which I've got installed up here. So I'm going to search for like plastic base, and we'll take something like this and just drag and drop it on like that. Now to begin with, nothing has changed because we need to be in material preview, which is up top right is this button here. Okay, now at the minute it's the wrong color. We want that sort of like classic Game Boy purple sort of thing. So if I click on it and come up to the top where we've got the shading tab, and then I'm going to close a few of these windows if we don't need them. So I'm going to view, area and close, and view, area and close. So I've just got these two areas here. So I'm going to change this one back to the 3D viewport, so you can sort of see what's going on, and go to material preview again. And then if I click on it, this is the nodes for this particular material. Okay, you don't need to know a great deal about nodes to use Blender Kit and edit them a little bit. Okay, all materials start with this principal BSDF. Now to change things like the colors and like transparency and that sort of thing, just find, so in this case you want the base color, so just follow that along until you get to whatever is feeding the color. In this case it's just a color wheel, so we can click on the color wheel, get a hex, and I've got that hex code from that color picker website, so I can just put that in, and it'll give us the purple that we want. So another very useful thing that you can do, which I only recently discovered, is say if I want loads of things to have that same color, I can just click on them, click on everything that I want to have that color, and then click on the original one. If I go Control L, I can then link material, so it will make sure everything is the same color. I'm also going to do that for, let's do these bits here. Control L, link materials like that. I'm getting some weird shading issues with this bit. Now on the older versions of Blender, you could just click on it, right click, and shade smooth. Unfortunately, that doesn't, with the latest updates, that doesn't work. So the best way I found to get around that is just go to generate, do a subdivision, and that'll solve the issue like that. So next, we do need to unwrap everything, but we're going to apply all our materials first, and then we'll unwrap it all. I'll select this one, L again, link materials. Then what we want is that grey, so let me get an image up for that grey that we know we want. So I've got that hex code, then I'm going to select this one, come to our materials tab, and I'm going to just take this plastic base. I'm going to call that main purple, but if I click on this button here, it will duplicate it, and I can call that grey buttons, and then jump back, click on it, and go back over to the shading tab again. Click on our colour wheel, and paste our new hex code in. And once again, what we can do is let's click on all of these, like that, and again, Control L, link materials. There's a few others we want to have those as well, which are those, and we'll do these as well. Control L, link materials. So that's most materials applied. Let's start to unwrap. Oh, we've not done this one as well. Let's do this. Control L, link materials. Now what we want to do is unwrap it so that we can like properly get the material to lay it on our model properly, which it isn't at the minute. It's a bit harder to see when it's sort of like plastic, but when it's like wood and things like that, you can see it makes quite a bit of difference. But because it's a CAD model, we can't properly unwrap it, so we're going to have to do just like cube projection. So we're going to select it, tab to go into edit mode, so you see what's going on there, 3 to go into face mode, and A to select it all. I'm going to press U on my keyboard. I'm just going to go cube projection, come out of tab, edit mode, and you can see we've now got the graininess of our plastic is showing up more now. So what we're going to do is do that for all of them. So tab to go into edit mode, 3 to go to face mode, A to select all, U, and cube projection. If you've modeled it properly in Blender and you've got what's called good topology, it's a lot easier to unwrap. It's just in this case where we're using a CAD model. It's doable, but you need to do something called retopology, which we're not going to cover in this particular project. I will cover that in a future video. But at the minute for this, it's not something we're too fussed, but we can do everything we need without it. Again, tab 3, A, U, and cube project. Once you get used to doing it, it doesn't take too long. Okay, so that's all of those. Did I already do that one? Yes, I did. I've not done this one yet. Okay, so next, let's make sure we've done these as well. Okay, so let's have a go at doing our screen. So we need like a plastic glossy. Let's have a look. Probably something like that. Let's drag that on. We'll change that color because it needs to be a black. So let's select it. Let's go to shading. Let's see what's giving it this color. Okay, so let's see if we can make that just black. Perfect. That's how we want it. Now I'm going to click on the top screen and hit H to hide it, because under here is where we're going to have what's actually on the screen. So I'm going to select that. In the materials tab, I'm going to click on new material. Oh, sorry, I'm going to get rid of that and click on new material. On base color, I'm going to click on image texture and go on open. And in my downloads, I've got like a screenshot of something I want to have on there. Now I'm going to select it, tab to go into edit mode, 3 to go to select face mode, A to select it all, and U to cube project. But we want to make sure it's fitting properly, so I select that and go to UV editing and zoom in so we can see what's going to happen. If I then select A for all of it, that's what we want on the full screen. So if I hit S to scale and drag it up, S and X, drag it out a little bit, that's now showing the full screen of what we want. I want it to light up a little bit, so what I can do on here is go to where emissive is, and we can change that as well to image texture. And let's take the same image like that, and then we can just turn that up like that, so that's glowing a little bit. We've got a couple of decals we want to add, so let's grab here, we'll go to Shift A, and we've got the add-on here, which is image as decal, so under image and then image as decal. And then again back in downloads, I think it is. There you go, Gameboy Advance SP logo. R to rotate, Z90. Let's come to the front view, scale it down a little bit, G and Z to bring up, G, Y to bring forwards. Scale it down. Maybe a little bit bigger. I'll just play with that offset just a little bit. Okay, I think I'll make this slightly off black, so it shows up a bit more. There you go, that's probably more like it. Okay, so we've got that. Maybe a bit too big still. Something like that. And then on the back, I have then got a label. So let's go to back view, Shift A, image as decal, and then I've got, where is it? This one. Let's do RZ90. S to scale. G, Z to bring up. G, Y to bring out a bit. That's the wrong way around, so let's do RY 180. Move that over a little bit. G and X. Let's go tab to go to edit mode and one to go to vertex mode, so we can grab these. Stretch it out a little bit. We want to make sure this lines up, so let's go Control R to add some edge loops. Right click one to go into vertex mode, and we can grab this to sort of like stretch it out a bit more to make sure it fits how we want it, like that. So we've now got our label on there. Let's add in, I'm going to save first of all so we don't lose anything. Come here, let's add a new material. And we just want to make that like power color green. And then emissive, same thing. Something like that. Select that, then that, and then Control L, make materials. So we've got that. And then let's just grab a metal. And we can just drag it on and then select all of these. Now to link materials, close it down. I'll just unwrap these quickly. So select it, tab 3AU, project. Tab 3AU, cube project. Let's edit this a little bit. Oh. There you go, it's looking straighter than it was. Okay, finish off here. Okay, so we've got our base set of materials. On here we want to have that Nintendo logo as well, don't we? I forgot about that one. cut back, Shift A, image out decal. I've got Nintendo here, RZ90, GZ to bring up, let's just scale it in. G out, you can't see it, might just change the modifier offset slightly. Something like that. GZ to bring up, S to scale it in. Let's stretch it out a little bit. There you go, something like that. So we've got that Nintendo logo on there. So again, I'm going to give this a quick save. So I feel like we've got the base of the materials down. So now it's a case of like we want to add some like surface imperfections, that sort of thing, make it a bit more realistic. So this is where we use the only paid add-on that I've got, which if I hit N here is the one-click age. So if I select the material I want to apply it to, click one-click age and click on setup, and this now will let me use generators to create like dust, spray, and that sort of thing. Now it will mainly only work inside of cycles. Some of them work in EV, most of them only work in cycles. So what I'm going to do before we do that is let's just set up like a little scene. So I'm just pretty much going to put like it on a table, I think. So let's do like a painted wood type thing. I tend to go for something like that. GZ, bring that down. I'm actually going to go Alt D and duplicate that for a second. Bring that over there. And then this one here. I accidentally duplicated that. Let's delete that. I'll take this RX90. And then we can do GZ to bring down. Just make sure it's not clipping through anything. So I've used something like that, maybe from that side. Then I think what we'll do is let's take this for a second, move it over here. I'm going to grab these parts. And I'll rotate these. So let's grab this. Let's do Control S or Shift S, sorry. Cursor to selected. And then let's grab that. Not that though. And then let's right click, set origin to 3D cursor. So now if I rotate RX, I can close that. Well, I've got to grab one of those things. Okay, let's try that one more time. Let's grab all of that, deselect those. Is that still going to work now? It's RX. There you go. Let's just come to the right side, see what's going on. There you go. So we've got like a closed version of the console, like that. Let's then take the whole thing, RX90, come to the top view. I think I've accidentally grabbed this bit. Let's hide that bit. GX, bring it over. Need that one. Let's delete that because I don't want to see it. Let's grab that. Go to the top view. G to bring it over. In fact, just delete that as well. Let's just take this. G, Y, move it over a little bit. G, Z to bring it down. And then you can just Shift D to duplicate, X and bring it over. There we go. Excuse me. Good as new. So let's then bring this over. Let's Alt H to unhide everything. So I'm picturing we're probably going to have our camera view something like that. Let's take this, move it somewhere like over here maybe. Make sure I'm not clipping through. There we go. I'll go to Shift A. Let's add a camera. And then let's go align it to camera to view. Come out a bit further. Yeah, something like that is looking okay. We seem to have lost our materials there, so let's redo that quickly. There we go. Oh no, wait, no, we haven't lost our materials, have we? If I hide that, yeah. We need to have that transparent material, so let's do it. Transparent, and then we want to grab like that. There we go. So I forgot that we hid. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So there you go, we've got that. Let's add some light in. So if we come Shift A light, I'm going to do an area light. And what I like to do most of the time, bring light over. I like to bring it like this, rotate round so it looks like there's a window type of thing. So we're going to add what's called a gobo to it, so the light sort of shining through it. So to do that, we need to be in cycles, So let's see what's going to happen. Change that to GPU. Turn the samples down a bit so it doesn't take so too long. On this one here now, we come to our light properties. Let's go to use nodes. Go over to shading tab. And then what we can do here is go to Shift A, add an image texture, plug that in, just grab one of our Gobos, which is on my desktop. I've got a whole folder of them. Let's go for something like that. Then we can turn that power up a bit. Change that spread to 0. Make that a bit less powerful. Need to make that a bit bigger. Something like that. Then we'll do Shift A, add an area light. And just come above it. Make it bigger so it's a bit of a soccer light. Maybe this light is a bit too powerful. And then maybe we turn this one up a little bit. Let's just look at our Gobo a little bit more. Take that, back to our shading tab. Maybe we change this Gobo to look quite simple, like that. See, this is where it's just sort of like trial and error of what you like. That's can't go wrong with something like that, really. Zoom in. Let's make that spread a little bit more. Something like that. Let's grab our camera, maybe do our focal point a bit more. Too much. Something like that. Okay, so that's set up nicely. So the last thing I said I wanted to do was to add like the surface imperfection stuff to the material. So I just want to quickly check. Did I change the colour of that light? I did not. Let's do something like that. There you go, something like that. So what we're going to do now is we're in cycles. So select the material, and then I'm going to hit N. We've already got our generator stuff set up, so this is where we start to add things like, let's do like edge wear, and you can see around the edges start to add a little bit. You can play around, so you can crank it up massively and see what happens, but that doesn't look that good. You don't want edge wear everywhere, and you can play around with the opacity a little bit. Maybe I have a little bit of fingerprints. No, fingerprints probably need to be scaled up a little bit. Yeah, so look quite big at the minute, so I can make that like way too big. I don't like it. I'm going to turn that opacity down a little bit there. I don't want too much. Something like that. The aim is just to make it look like it's been used. Basically, you don't want to make it look too off. So we've got some dust there, and again, that's a little bit too much. So we turn the opacity down. Fraction. And with that edge wear, I might change the color of that. So this is where I think the real fun begins, because you can start to make things look way more like realistic. You can really play around with everything. Okay, so I think what's that gonna do? That. Okay. Crunch. Change that scale. Right, I've got a few little weird sort of shading issues here. So if I click on that and shade auto smooth, there you go, it looks a bit better. Okay, so that's fine. Because we've duplicated it, it should be adding it to here as well, which it is as well. So you can see along here you've got like your edge wear and stuff like that, which is what we want. Yeah. Right, let's grab our screen. Again, the same sort of thing. Let's add a little bit of edge wear to it. A bit of fingerprints. And again, I think we did like 5, didn't we? Something like that. And then let's do the same on these. Bit of edge wear. But you see what's going on with this bit here, so that's too much, obviously. Just bring that down a bit. Definitely want some fingerprints on here because this is where the buttons are. There you go. So you see like the fingerprints look about the right sort of size for what we've got going on. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, fingerprint scale wise is about right. Don't know if I like this. No, we don't want any smear on there. How's that looking? Zoom out a little bit. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. We could then do things like God rays and that sort of thing inside, and like ambient dust. We'll do that inside of Photoshop rather than Blender. You can do it inside of Blender, but it'll just increase like render time and stuff, which is a bit unnecessary more than anything. Anything else we want to add onto here? Okay, I think not done anything to that screen yet. Let's do that. So I think that's going to be a bit of edge wear and dust again, basically. There we go. That's a bit of edge wear. A little bit of dust. Bring that opacity down. And the good news is because we applied a lot of the same materials, it applies it to all of those materials, so it makes it like quite a bit easier. Like I don't like how hard that's done, that thing. Okay. I think we're pretty much done. So last thing I'll do, let's add a little bit of surface dust to our table, just a little bit, nothing much. Can we do wood damage? Ooh. No, I don't like that. Nah. Change your mind. Let's not have that on there. Okay. So we are done. I'm going to close that. So if you go to your run properties, so 4K samples will be pretty high quality. I'll give that a save. But we'll stop there. Hopefully you've enjoyed following along. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment down below or email me at design with Simon@outlook.com.